In this video today, I will be explaining Backrooms level 919, also known as Where the Waters Breathe. Now, this is a very disturbing place that kinda resembles the infamous pool rooms that you've probably seen before, except this area is not a fun little vacation to an indoor water park. Instead, it's actually a dark prison that you're gonna be trapped in for a while during your stay. And as you can see here, this water isn't really water at all, and you probably should never touch it. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the explanation, shall we? Backrooms level 919 has been classified as a class 3E environmental difficulty because of its extremely unsafe and unstable expanses, with non-entity hazards being the main prevalent danger. The actual level itself is an expansive place comprised of an infinite body of what looks to be water, although it's not, and outside of that water are walkways and hallways and rooms constructed out of white tiles and stones and metal, and they kind of float and are intermingled with this watery stuff. In some instances, the rooms are actually on the same level as the liquid, meaning that you can just walk down a hallway and it could dead end into this black goo. But the rest of the level is kind of hoisted up on top of stilts that come out of that black goo, and you're gonna notice a few things right off the bat when you walk through this maze. The air is cold, it's almost freezing actually, and it smells very faintly like electrical circuits and ozone. Above the level, if you look up, rather than just a normal ceiling, there's actually in its place an endless void of nothingness. There's no roof, there's no sun, no stars, just the lack of light. It's just a pitch black darkness that you can't really recreate unless you see it. The only light, in fact, that you'll have while exploring these rooms and hallways is a very faint glow from light sources that are built into the tiles. For some reason, this level has lights that look like tiles and it kind of just glows. Don't ask me how that's possible. This isn't real. The general design of the rooms and the paths could be considered minimalist and symmetrical. There are triangular shapes and circles and rectangles that make up most of the areas that you can actually walk through. And in fact, one thing you'll notice is that they're so clean and they're so white, they almost look to be fake and 3D rendered. Like these hallways and rooms and shapes and stuff, it looks like some kind of computer put them there and not like they were built by a human hand. They just look too perfect. There's also not any supplies here or resources. There's no utilities either. You're not gonna find stoves or wood or anything of use. It's all empty, it's all minimal, and every tiled surface is just blank. The tiles themselves are very cool to the touch, almost again freezing, and that translates to every other thing, just like the air, the tiles, the water stuff, all of it is cold and all of it is forgotten. Each of these tiled structures are connected via these bridges or paths that I said earlier are held up by columns coming out of that black gooey water. Even though that stuff has corrosive properties, the things that are holding up these bridges and pathways, they don't actually seem to decay. They don't fall apart, even though they're surrounded on all sides by water. Now, it's important to note that the different sections of the level are extremely precariously connected by those small pathways. So it's not like you can just walk through a big, wide, safe hallway to get from area to area. Instead, you're gonna have to kind of tiptoe around very, very skinny paths to get on where you want to go. This could lead to you slipping and falling off into the goo or losing your footing or something like that. You just don't want to do that, and I'll explain again why in a second, but just for general safety, you shouldn't try to walk too fast through the level. Just take your time, make sure you have your balance when walking over these bridges and across these pathways, because you don't want to fall down. Just as a level-wide warning, the level itself emits this unnatural and corrosive aura. It feels like you're walking above a bubbling cauldron or something like that. Like you're inside of a computer and all the circuitries are moving around you. Once you get from room to room, you don't even seem like you're in a live place. It seems like you're in a manufactured video game. And mainly that's due to this level's namesake, the black liquid below. Now, this black water is extremely dense. It's actually thicker than regular water, so it's more of a goo or gelatinous substance. It's very opaque and it's very dark, and it fills the entirety of the level's canals and rivers and just the general body of the level. Like I said, kind of the main floor is water, and everything else you can walk on is jutting out of the water. This liquid is very viscous, and it's thick, and it's gooey. It's like honey or gelatin or something like that, and it also doesn't reflect anything. If you go up to a normal puddle of water or a lake or something and you look down in it, you're gonna see reflections, right? You're gonna see the sky above you, you're gonna see your face or whatever else is around you. This stuff does not do that. Rather, it absorbs whatever rays hit its surface, which means it's kind of Vanta black. It just absorbs all life and light that comes into contact with it. This black water is not water in the conventional sense, like I keep saying, but it's just easier to call it that because preliminary analysis shows that the molecular composition of this water actually is not normal. Inside of this kind of chemical composition, non-H2O base elements and other anti-reflective particle matters are suspended inside of its structure, which is just like I was saying, this goo, it isn't normal. Something about it is different. It sucks all the life and light from everything. If you take a sample of this goo away from its kind of main body, eventually, if you leave it in that jar, it'll kind of just disintegrate into a gelatinous powder-like substance. It's extremely corrosive and it's extremely dangerous if you're exposed to it for a long period of time. Even if you don't touch it, the fumes of the liquid could enter your body and they could wreak havoc on your organs. In fact, one of the biggest dangers about this level and why it's been given an environmental difficulty is because if you stay inside of it for over 2 days, you're gonna absorb so many fumes from that black goo that your brain is gonna start losing oxygen and blood flow, and it's gonna cause dizziness and loss of direction and nausea, and you'll just stop being able to walk straight. And like I said earlier, you're gonna want to be able to walk straight to walk over these paths, or else you're gonna fall in. And of course, if you fall in, you're just gonna get consumed by this goo. If you somehow don't get out of this level, you don't escape before the symptoms get worse, you'll eventually succumb to exhaustion as your heart gives out from not having enough oxygen inside of you, and you'll fall off wherever you're at into the thick black goo below, sinking down below the surface to never be seen or heard from again. On that same note, since this liquid is sticky, if you're just walking through the hallways or rooms here and you kind of bend down and touch it or something, or if it drips on you somehow, it is extremely hard to remove from your skin. It's like napalm or like hand sanitizer. So the best way to survive a long journey through this kind of dark pool rooms area is to try to stay high above the liquid so you're further away from the smell and the actual liquid itself, and this will increase your likelihood that you'll survive. If you do this, you might be able to make it out of this pool rooms place in one piece, and if you don't, like I said, you're probably gonna get consumed by whatever this goo is. To enter the level, you need to climb through a reflective surface on any part of any Backrooms level, no matter where it's at. It could be a fridge, it could be a mirror. You just gotta no-clip through it, and you'll be sent here. And to exit, you have to walk in a very straight line across all these bridges, across all these pathways for over 5 miles. It seems like 5 miles is kind of like a perfect golden number, and if you don't deviate from your path, if you just keep walking straight, you do this correctly, you will be sent out of the level, all the way to level 230. This place is extremely strange. It's eerily quiet, it's uninhabited. Even though the water's moving and bubbling, it makes no noise. It smells like chemicals and ozone. The goo corrodes whatever it touches. It's just not a very fun place to be. It's not very habitable. But the level does seem to have a sort of sentience about it, a wisdom, if you will, and whatever the case is, you should just avoid this place at all costs, especially if you like your life. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and I really am excited for all the stuff I got planned coming over this summer for the channel. I got the 24-hour video coming out soon. I got plenty of Backrooms movie coverage coming out soon, and just generally everything, it's all flowing through my mind. I have a ton of stuff, but if you, for some reason, have any specific thing that you want me to talk about, leave a comment below. While you're down there, leave a like. Thank you so much for everything. With all that said, I'll see you in the next video.